this time on Megashippers. In Darwin, Australia, it's sink or swim for a semi-submersible heavy lift vessel as she takes on board a 23,000-ton oil rig.
This operation is very important. Cargo is very heavy, serious, very heavy.
In Donington, Leicestershire, it's crunch time for HGV driver Connor Green, who's facing a tight fit to get a 56-ton stone crusher onto a flight to Africa.
Fingers crossed. I think you need to have good nerves. We'll breathe a sigh of relief once that's done.
Ops 2 via Alpha 2, enter runway 27.
And there's no end in sight as one of the biggest planes in the world is stranded airside by a blanket of fog.
I've got an Antonov going out. Don't want to cause any damage to that.
Around the world,
We are going in, let's go.
there's a hidden army of workers
Things can go wrong really, really fast.
who, in the face of danger and turbulent times, work in all weathers, day and night, to deliver no matter what.
Stop.
Step into the $6 trillion world of heavy logistics. Meet the people for who no load is too heavy,
Anything up in the air, it wants to come down.
no item too big,
It's a case of demolition, destruction, and make it happen.
and no route too difficult.
The more that I get off, the less stress that I have.
An industry dedicated to one common goal:
Keep it coming, mate, keep it coming.
keeping the planet moving by land, air, and sea. Meet the Megashippers. Darwin, the capital city of Australia's Northern Territory. Now a bustling port on the Timor Sea, it was first discovered in September 1839 by namesake, the British naturalist Charles Darwin. Heading into port today is the MV Osprey, a 54,000-ton specialist semi-submersible heavy lift vessel. On arrival, her crew face an incredible 4-day technical challenge: to load and secure a massive oil rig known as a jack-up onto her submerged deck for a 5,700-kilometre sea journey to her next drilling site in Melbourne. It's a daunting task, and after months in the planning, it's down to one man to make this happen: Loadmaster Captain Yegor Kordersky.
Osprey on the horizon. Use my baby. She's the hero of our movie.
Before becoming a loadmaster for the shipping company that owned Osprey, Yegor was their captain.
This particular place was my home for 6 years. She is beautiful. Every time I see the Osprey, I feel comfortable and cozy.
Osprey, mermaid calling you over.
Yeah, go ahead, this is the Osprey.
Pulling alongside, the pride in Yegor's former command is obvious.
As you see, it's painted. This is Norwegian red color, traditional Norwegian color. And it looks stylish. Beautiful baby.
The length of the main deck, which is for cargo, is more than 150 meters.
A specialist in her field, MV Osprey needs this impressive deck space to facilitate her specialized operational procedure. Rather than using cranes to lift cargo on board, she operates what is known as a float-on, float-off loading operation by filling ballast tanks with seawater.
She is designed primarily for semi-submersible heavy lift operation. So we submerge the main deck under the water and we tow and drag the cargo on top of the vessel.
Then the water ballast is jettisoned and miraculously the ship's deck, along with its cargo, will rise above the waterline. This is the way to transport an oil rig. Lowering the anchor 1 kilometre offshore, MV Osprey is in secure and sheltered waters
Shooter!
as Yegor boards his old ship.
Now or after pilot, we'll see.
For the next 24 hours, Yegor needs to oversee all the preparations necessary to ensure the 23,000-ton rig can be safely floated above and then, once perfectly positioned, secured to the deck as the Osprey surfaces.
Nice to see you again. Hi.
The first priority is checking the wooden cradle the rig will rest on.
You can see a lot of wooden block. Each of this wooden block corresponds to the framing on the rig. And this framing should sit in the middle of this wooden block. So the margin is like maybe plus minus 5 centimeters. This is not a Tetris. This is again.
With the rig still operational, Osprey's crew have spent 6 days working from blueprints to assemble the 943 meters of wooden support cribbing on deck. If it's been done correctly, each one should perfectly correspond to a beam on the bottom of the rig.
Those two beautiful tall structures, we call them guide posts. Port side of the rig will touch this guide post. The rig will slide on the guide post and should sit perfectly on all these wooden blocks.
Once in position, the rig will then need securing in place. To do this, the crew of the Osprey have come up with a solution you wouldn't normally want to do on a ship: cutting holes in the deck.
We have two openings in our main deck, one here and another one over there. The space for spout can of the rig. To describe it in more simple English, spout can is a shoe for the rig.
The jack-up rig is a self-elevating drilling platform with a buoyant hull, supported by 3 169-metre-high triangular legs with inverted cone or spud can bases that provide stability when resting on the seabed.
So the tip of spout can should go here in the middle, directly. And the shape of spout can will be like this. Like this. So we need to do it with some precision.
As the rig is so big, 2 legs will slot into these deck holes, whilst the third rests over the side, locking the rig in place. As the sun sets, Yegor and the crew now have just 36 hours to secure the cribbing and submerge Osprey before load day. 13,848 kilometres away in Leicestershire, England. It's 7 a.m. and at Donington Park Services on the M1 motorway, heavy haulage driver Connor Green is making a pit stop to check his abnormal load. On the trailer today, a 56-ton, 18-metre-long, 3-metre-high, heavy-duty, self-propelled stone crusher.
What we have here is a Sandvik US 440 stone crusher. It's heading to Gabon in Africa to go into a mineral mine.
Gabon is the world's third-largest producer of manganese ore, producing over 1.1 million tonnes in 2019. The ore is vital for the manufacture of industrial alloys, like stainless steel, to stop corrosion and rusting. It's extracted by open-cast mining of rocks, which are then processed using machines like this. But after the failure of a previous unit, the mine urgently needs a replacement. Connor's 15.6-litre Scania R620 truck is perfect for transporting this 56-ton, 3-metre-wide specialist load to East Midlands Airport before it's flown to Africa.
It's a specialist job. You need specialist trucks, and you need guys that know what they're at doing it. That's the whole key, you know.
Although Connor's only travelling 3 kilometres from the service station to the airport, navigating the early morning traffic is still challenging.
Well, heavy haulage and abnormal loads, it's certainly not for the faint-hearted. I think you need to have good nerves and you need to be brave, I suppose. We're over 20 metres long with this machine, and we've got a rear overhang as well. So you need to allow for that. The main thing is to not make any sudden lefts or sudden rights. Obviously it's a little bit busier than what we would like, but it's that peak time in the morning now, so you just got to be patient and hope that other road users are the same.
While Connor contends with the traffic, descending from the skies above, the only aircraft capable of handling such an abnormal cargo touches down. This is the Antonov 124-100. Built back in the 1980s to transport tanks and missiles for the Soviet Union, it now fulfills a more peaceful role, operating as one of the world's largest commercial air freighters. And at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, this aircraft is scheduled to fly the 56-ton rock crusher from East Midlands Airport, 9,000 kilometres to Franceville in Gabon, Africa. Back on the road, Connor is closing in on the airport.
We're literally just around the corner from the airport now, so we've done quite well to get here with no major delays. It's unusual to see them going by air, but I think there's quite a hurry to get this machine out there, and that's why the Antonov hired in for this job, so I'm pretty sure they need the machine in a hurry.
But unexpectedly, just getting his 3-metre wide load through the front gate into the airport is causing problems.
I don't think he realises that we're just slightly abnormal, so just to be careful, we're going to get this gate on the right-hand side open as well, just to give us a little bit more room. They opened the two of them the other morning and let us in.
Yeah, this is great. I can't out there.
It seems today, one of the gates has broken. Now Connor will have to drive his 3-metre wide load through a 3.5-metre gap.
OK, we'll go for it. Can you get guys just to watch both sides?
With just 25 centimetres spare on each side, it's a tight squeeze. But Connor finally makes it. Now, away from the cameras, he needs to clear customs, file the paperwork, and get a good night's sleep in preparation for loading the rock crusher onto the Antonov, so it can hit its 11 a.m. departure slot tomorrow morning. But the next morning, as dawn breaks, there's a problem. Thick fog covers the airport.
The fog has created low visibility conditions, which means that all the vehicles on the ramp will be travelling at 5 miles an hour. So it does slow down the loading process.
And with just 4 hours before the Antonov's scheduled departure, the pressure is on. Dawn off Darwin, Northern Australia. The crew of the heavy lift vessel MV Osprey have just 24 hours to complete their preparations before loading and securing a 23,000-ton mobile drilling rig on deck for her 5,700-kilometre voyage to Melbourne. Osprey's specialist design enables her to open her ballast tanks and submerge to a depth of 22 metres. The rig can then be towed above the main deck by tugs and secured before she resurfaces again, hopefully with her cargo perfectly placed on the wooden cribbing. In charge of this critical operation is Chief Engineering Officer Algis Alexounas.
This is our ballast control room, and this is for control of submerging our vessel. Today we are planning beginning of submerging. When we have good stability, we will start to submerge the forward parts. And finally, vessel must be loading draft totally 22 meters.
The Osprey has 69 ballast tanks powered by 4 pumps and capable of taking on 3,000 tons of seawater an hour. But even so, it'll take around 16 hours to take on board the 50,000 tons of seawater ballast needed to submerge her to a loading depth of 22 meters. As Osprey continues slowly submerging,
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, surveyors on board.
Copy, marine warranty surveyor on board.
the inspection team from the company who own the oil rig arrived to inspect his shipping plans.
And let's go to the client here.
So right now our current timing is tugs will be out on location 12 o'clock today.
This is the first time Jaeger and Algis have met the rig owners from Noble Corporation face to face.
So we agreed timing for our loading stays the same.
Although Osprey's crew are confident they've perfectly positioned the 943 meters of wooden deck cribbing to safely transport the rig, it's the client's opinion that matters.
1 o'clock today we should be fully stowed.
On paper, everything seems fine. But the deck inspection is what counts.
I will show you and check everything for you.
Marine support engineer and rig representative Ben Sherwood
Yeah, and work in? Yeah, that works.
will physically inspect every beam of the wooden cribbing the rig will rest on during transportation.
This is probably the most important part. Basically, you want the frames to rest on the wood, so all the weight is on the frame of the rig instead of in between the frames, so you don't cause any warping in the rig. Pretty important.
The rig only has a 5 centimeter margin for positioning.
Yeah, 15, yes.
Even one beam out could cause the cargo to twist and break.
If you're off a little bit during the loading, then you have to do it again, so it's good to get it done right the first time.
Once the positioning of every single section of the 943 meters of wooden deck cribbing is approved, it's welded in place. It's a painstaking process.
09 here.
Jaeger's spud can holes in the deck clearly illustrate how much lower in the water she is since yesterday.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Submersion has been halted for the inspection. But unless the cribbing is signed off, submersion will be stopped, causing lengthy delays.
Good.
Nervously watching the inspection progress is the Osprey's master, or captain, Victor Borowski.
Right now, as you can see, the chief officer together with the assistant working and checking the cribbing on deck. This time it's a little bit longer than usual because this cargo is heavier than usual. When everything done smoothly, I would like to see happy faces and smiles of our clients, because the vessel will stay here until we are happy of rig position on the deck.
9, 6.
Before anyone can smile, it's down to Ben being satisfied the measurements and prep are pitch perfect.
When you're getting on there and you're wondering, hey, are we on the right spot? If you didn't measure beforehand, probably worry you a bit. And if you can trust your measurements, then it helps things for sure.
After 5 hours, Ben's inspection is complete.
Yeah, everything's good. Cribbing looks good. Guideposts, wood, recesses, so it's very pleased. Ready to go tomorrow, see how it works out.
As Ben and his team finally depart for the day, Algis is visibly relieved. The 6 days it took to perfectly position the 943 meters of wooden cribbing have paid off.
Yes, I'm happy, yes. Finished the first important step with the cribbing approved and guidepost position approved. Next, very important step, deballast and finish. All will be happy. See you tomorrow.
The Osprey will continue taking on 3,000 tons of seawater an hour for the next 12 hours until she reaches her load depth, when the deck is submerged 10.5 meters below the surface.
At this moment, rig is underway.
Meanwhile, on the bridge, Captain Victor finally receives news of their all-important cargo.
She's doing great speed, 2.5 knots. Actually, it's quite nice.
The jack-up rig, Noble Tom Prosser, has a buoyant hull, and after being prepped for travel, is now being towed towards Osprey by tugs from our oil prospecting drilling site 8 kilometers offshore.
According to plan, they should be at the entrance of the bay by midnight, and from midnight to our location another 6 hours.
So she's supposed to be here by 6 o'clock in the morning. This is a plan.
Osprey and her crew turn in, all except Alex Pribilos.
Deck, bridge, radio check.
As second officer, he's in charge of the ship overnight. Besides keeping an eye on the Osprey, Alex also monitors the rig's steady progress.
Everybody is sleeping now to be in good condition in the morning time. Tomorrow is real big day. Everybody will be it's a high tension and just will be a long day for everybody.
7 a.m, East Midlands Airport. In just 4 hours' time, an Antonov 124-100 aircraft is scheduled to depart for Gabon in Africa, carrying a 56-ton rock crusher urgently needed in a manganese ore mine. Tom Blakeman from Antonov Solutions is in charge of getting it loaded.
Aircraft's just come on to stand, and they're preparing the aircraft now. And this aircraft specialises in outsize loads.
Built to transport Soviet-era tanks and missiles, today's load, although large, shouldn't be an issue.
When the item's in the aircraft, it's about 24 metres long. So you've got 35 metres on the floor, plenty of space.
But it's not hard to see what the real problem is.
The fog has created low visibility conditions, so it does slow down the loading process.
Costing as much as £23,000 an hour to charter, it's vital the aircraft hits its 11 a.m. departure window. But this fog means costly delays now look inevitable.
The other thing that the low visibility conditions impose, one of the precautions, is that between aircraft takeoffs and landings, there's got to be a runway inspection carried out.
The conditions mean the control tower can't see the airfield.
Ops 2 via Alpha 2, enter runway 27.
Via Alpha 2, enter runway 27, Ops 2.
So it's down to operations manager Rob Wills to get in his car and physically check the runways are clear.
Doing the runway check just to check the surface condition, whether it's dry, damp, wet, frozen, anything like that. Checking that there's no defects on the surface and also checking for wildlife, birds in particular, but often we get foxes, badgers, frogs, basically anything that could be ingested into the engines of any aircraft, but in particular we've got an Antonov going out later on. Don't want to cause any damage to that.
With the runway declared clear, and after 2 hours the fog finally burnt off, the load team are 2 hours behind schedule. Antonov flight manager Alexei Ziatdinov needs to prep the aircraft to receive the 56-ton oversized track vehicle safely.
This mining machine will drive on this wood to do not damage our titanium floor.
Titanium is as strong as steel, but 45% lighter, a vital factor for flying big loads.
So it is our ramping station, which we will build and make the flat floor. A little bit noisy.
Besides safeguarding the titanium floor, Alexei needs to deploy and assemble the onboard expanding cargo ramp. Capable of extending 17 metres and supporting a 200-ton single outsized load.
Now on our front ramp we're installing the ramp extension to make the flat floor, and it will be like a highway for this crusher.
Keeping an eye on proceedings, HGV driver Connor Green is waiting in the wings.
We wouldn't be doing this type of job every day, for sure.
Once the ramp is assembled, it'll be his job to drive the stone crusher up it. With the takeoff window fast approaching, preparation is everything.
We'll just start the machine, make sure it's starting okay. You can see a little bit of sweat running out of me at the moment because I've been working hard at these chains for a few minutes, but there might be a few more bubbles of sweat coming out later on if it doesn't start, so fingers crossed. The moment of truth. Happy days.
Prepped for the operation, Connor drives the stone crusher down the runway.
There's the Antonov. It's certainly massive. It's surprising that you can put such a big crusher onto such a plane, but it's certainly well capable of it. For something that's over 30 years old, it's a fair bit of kit. I'll be relaxed once I get it tracked up onto the plane itself. There's a good bit of responsibility involved in getting it up the ramp. I think that's the most accurate part of the whole operation, so we'll breathe a sigh of relief once that's done.
Waiting for Connor at the ramp is Alexei.
So now we need to offload from the trailer, position direct on the ramp system to avoid any steering on the ramp, because any steering on the ramp, it will break it, and we will need to reinstall it again. So we'll see.
Besides building up the ramp, to ensure no planes are damaged in the future, the runway also needs protecting. So forklift truck tyres are put down to drive over and protect the concrete.
Just to create a bit of a cushion as such, and a ramp just to get us down onto the concrete.
With the runway now ready to receive all 56 tons of mining machine, all eyes are on Connor.
A lot of people are watching, but everything will be fine. So the main thing as we're offloading is that we don't get the ramp damaged.
It's vital Connor plots a perfect straight-line route from the base of the ramp into the aircraft, as any corrective steering whilst on the ramp could twist and break it. And he only has this remote control unit for steering. As the crusher mounts the ramp, something moves and a section breaks. It's a major setback. The crusher needs offloading and the ramp rebuilding. This will take hours. They've missed their takeoff window, and it'll cost another £23,000 for every extra hour delay. One kilometre off Darwin, Australia, in the Timor Sea. Whilst at anchor in calm waters, overnight, the heavy-lift semi-submersible vessel Osprey has continued flooding her main deck in preparation to float on board this impressive cargo. Alex Pribilos, MV Osprey's second officer, has been on watch all night, and as dawn breaks, is the first to see the impressive load they'll be transporting.
This one is our cargo. It's a jack-up rig, exactly 23,000 tons, slowly proceeding to us. It's a big rig, it's very heavy, so it's gonna be a long day.
For Captain Victor, with the deck now submerged, the only reference point for where the rig will nestle on the deck are the 9 and 10 metre tall steel guideposts.
At this moment, as you can see, the starboard guide post is underwater now, and only a little bit more than 4 feet left, and the taller guide post will be underwater soon.
Over the last 12 hours, 2 tugs have been pulling the 23,000-ton jack-up rig Nobleton Prosser from its offshore drilling site into Darwin's sheltered waters and Osprey's secure anchorage for loading. It's 8 a.m. and shipping company loadmaster Yegor Korduski, the man in charge of securing this 23,000-ton rig on the deck, heads out to inspect the cargo.
So we are coming on to the rig now. Over.
That is a copy. We get somebody to come around there, meet you, and bring you guys up.
Boarding the rig, Yegor first checks the positioning of the spud cans, the feet of the rig. They need to fit into the holes specially cut into Osprey's deck.
We are checking that the leg in upmost position. So the bottom of the leg, the spout can, should suit this triangle opening. And we need to check that our calculation and all our preparation on the vessel correspond to this leg position. Same we will be doing on all the legs.
Happy the positioning is correct.
Yeah. Let's go check all locations, guys.
From a vantage point high on the rig, Loadmaster Yegor monitors the approach to Osprey.
We are on top of the heli deck of Noble Tom Prosser, on top of the jack-up rig. Everything looks normal, acceptable.
Time and location are critical to the successful loading of the rig onto the deck of Osprey.
Osprey is over there. We will wait until the current will go below 1 knot, half a knot down, then we can approach.
Her anchorage has been carefully chosen. Not only sheltered from the wind, here at exactly 11 AM, there is a 1 hour still water period as the tides change between incoming and outgoing.
Osprey, Lord Master, tell me the current speed now from the log.
Current is still 1.3.
Okay, thanks.
With no current speed or wind, this creates a perfect loading window.
You have to have this line ready on the deck.
Back on board, Osprey bosun Marius Vankousis is in charge of the 4 polyester fibre rope lines that will be attached to the rig to help float it into position on deck.
Every station has 3 people. One in the working the winch handle, and one is assist, and one is a commander with the radio. Also, we have the new ropes. You can check. The first time we use this is special for the cargo, heavy cargo. Very expensive also.
On the rig, as the outgoing ebb tide slows, the current drops to 1.1 knots, and Yegor and his team prepare to load.
Okay, all stations Osprey, we're about to start moving on. Osprey crew is going to send lines from the Osprey to the rig. The rig crew will connect this line, and with the help of the Osprey line, we will be able to put the jack up on top of Osprey main deck. So it's your turn to tell the boat to come. We are start moving now.
Right now, the loading master give the command, send line to the rig, connected to the rig. After line number 2, the boat coming pick up my line, number 3. Next one be number 4, and after this we slowly start to pushing in the rig. This operation is, how to say, very important. Cargo is very heavy, serious, very heavy. In my 10 years experience, maybe 2 or 3 times I take like this cargo.
From his commanding position on top of the rig, Yegor oversees the connection and securing of 4 ropes between the Osprey and the rig that will be used to help winch it into position.
Stop. Okay. Right now we already connect the line number 4, and after this the tugboat starts working and we pull it in position. You see these 2 green cans? This is the guy post. This is like a stopper for the rig.
With all the lines secured, the most nerve-wracking stage of the load begins, floating the rig above the submerged deck of the Osprey.
Okay, all lines, we are going in. Let's go. Start picking up all lines.
We are starting to move forward.
Yes, good. Line number 1, good, good. Don't pull too much forward.
Number 2, slack.
Stop, hold. Pick up a little bit.
Slack a little bit, number 1. And keep an eye on your line and the guidepost and anchor it. Easy on number 4, easy on number 4.
Number 2 is in line.
With no current, the 23,000-ton rig is moving centimetres at a time above Osprey's deck.
Line number 3 slowly heave up.
But with the 10-metre tall guidepost now submerged, only 2 small green marker buoys show their position.
3 and 4, continue pick up.
More power on number 2 and more power on number 3. Slowly slack 5 meters on number 2.
Okay, number 2 slack. Guidepost to the catcher is about 6 meters.
Get the rig to gate post, please.
East Midlands Airport, Leicestershire. The loading of a 56-ton rock crusher bound for the manganese mines in Gabon, West Africa, isn't going to plan. Whilst driver Connor Green was attempting to steer it into the aircraft hold, the ramp broke.
Like that ramp, that shifted in a lot, didn't it? I mean, look at the line of it.
Yeah. And you didn't really steer it that much.
Already behind schedule, Connor must now reverse the 56-ton rock crusher off the ramp, so that the Antonov crew can try and fix the problem, all of which takes time. And time costs money, as Antonov Air MD Paul Furlonger explains.
From the customer's point of view, he's spending a lot of money to get something moved from A to B very quickly. So if there's a delay or a problem, there's a cost to him. There's a cost to us, because the more time we spend on the ground, the more money we're spending, and the less we're earning, because the airplane earns from flying, of course. You're losing time, time is money, so there's always a pressure.
After examining the ramp system, Connor thinks he's identified the problem.
So it looks like what's happened is, when I've tracked up onto the ramp, the timbers have actually crushed a little bit, and they've caused the other end of the ramp just to tip up that little bit. So it's just a case of going through the motions again and rebuilding the ramp. And I think they're going to put in some slightly stronger timbers this time.
Along with everyone else, Connor is feeling the pressure to get the aircraft loaded for their 11 a.m. takeoff window.
I'd say at this stage it's getting a little bit tight. There's a bit of panic has set in now in the last few minutes. Let's just hope that we can get things moving again shortly and get it loaded, because it takes quite a bit of time to get it secured and get the whole ramp built back into the plane again. So, you know, there's not much time left.
Having identified what went wrong the first time, for flight manager Alexei, it's vital the ramp holds and the second loading attempt succeeds.
Now guys trying to secure this point by the plywood to make it more powerful, because the standing beams already damaged. We'll see if it helps.
With the ramp reinforced and reconnected, Alexei and Connor hope they've resolved the problem.
Maybe do not any turn on the move. Yeah, if you will see that we will need to steer, we stop.
Shall we go for it again?
Yeah. Okay. We will try again. Maybe this time everything will be good.
Now everything depends on Connor steering the rock crusher in a perfect line up the ramp.
Yeah, so we're hoping now that everything is going to work out this time. Maybe take a slightly different line and get it straightened up and go for it again.
The stone crusher inches up the ramp. Hopefully Connor has got the perfect line and won't need to adjust, or the ramp could once again come apart.
The most dangerous part of the ramp system is passed, so now operator can steer it, but as you see, cargo is going direct and everything is good. So next 5 minutes, I hope loading will be complete.
Yeah, so we're nearly there now, just the last few little steps. It's quite tight, and as you can see, you know, getting the perfect line on the timbers is important to have it centralised on the plane as well, so.
It's been a difficult operation, but finally, Connor can relax.
Yeah, that's my end of it done now. A little bit more stressful than I thought. It needs a lot of concentration. You know, you're dealing with only an inch or two left or right, so you just need to be very accurate. So the ramp was fine this second time round as well, so everything's good.
With the mining machine safely stowed inside the belly of the beast.
Job done.
All that's left is for load surveyor Gary Carter to strap this oversized passenger in for what could be a bumpy ride.
Now it's down to securing and making sure that obviously there's no movement during the air passage. We have a load plan given to us by the Antonov team, and so we know exactly how many chains they want to fix in which directions. So that takes a lot of lashing down.
24 chains later, the mining machine is secured and ready to go, much to the relief of Antonov MD Paul Furlonger.
Cargo's on board, lashed down. There's about 40-45 tonnes of fuel going in, and then they'll be ready to go to Franceville to deliver. And it's always easier getting it out than it is getting it in. Customer should be happy.
Fully fueled, the mighty Antonov shuts up shop and takes to the skies, destined for Gabon. Darwin, Northern Australia.
Okay, oil lines, we are going in. Let's go.
Loadmaster Yegor Kudersky is midway through a highly technical and complex float-on, float-off loading procedure.
Keep an eye on guidepost and tanker rack.
The challenge, perfectly winching a 23,000-ton oil rig above the deck of MV Osprey, a semi-submersible heavy lift transport vessel.
Get the rig slowly to guidepost, please.
But there's a problem. The 9-metre-tall guidepost that helped mark where the rig will sit on the wooden deck supports is now completely submerged.
More power on number 2 and more power on number 3.
The team think they're in position.
Mark Remover, Yegor, Loadmaster. We are on the guidepost on the port side. Please come down and take a look. We are on the guidepost on the port side.
But with the rig now floating above the submerged deck, Yegor checks its position perfectly against the guideposts before she starts surfacing.
I will follow you to the guidepost.
They have less than a 5-centimetre margin for error.
Yes, I'm on top of starboard guidepost. We are in the process of final positioning the rig. It looks like we need to move there, like 30 centimeters. Maybe the tacks will help us.
With just 40 minutes of their safe loading window available before the tide turns, this adjustment has to happen now. Otherwise, the lines will struggle to hold the rig in the current.
Guys! Tak, stop, Victor. We don't have a good angle. Actually, only one line is working in correct angle. I suggest this additional line.
It's no easy task, and to stop it drifting out of position, an additional line needs sending out to the rig to hold it as the tide turns.
The rig is stable on top of Osprey, and we need to adjust it as perfect as possible. So we are sending another additional line for the last plus minus 15 centimeters.
This is where Yegor's experience pays off. Even though the tide is turning, he's going to use it to his advantage.
Number 1 additional slack, 20 centimeters.
The rig in position now, but we are turning. We want to use the wind against the current.
Fighting the changing tide, with the lines holding the rig in as near perfect position as possible above Osprey's deck, the 50,000 tons of seawater ballast is slowly pumped out, and she starts to surface. For Chief Engineering Officer Algis, it's an anxious time.
At the present moment, deballasting in progress. We are waiting the contact draft. This is very important, keeping rig in position. Spout counts is already in recess, and we are waiting to contact bottom of rig to the creeping.
On the rig, 40 meters above deck, Loadmaster Yegor steadily monitors the surfacing progress. It seems his quick thinking has helped reposition the rig perfectly.
There is 1 meter left between the bottom of the rig and the Osprey deck is 1 meter here. Judging by guidepost, rig is sitting perfectly in position, and it looks like we missed a lunch and we will have a late lunch. Lunch is the most important part of this operation.
While the men grab a bite to eat, Osprey steadily pumps out seawater. Within 6 hours, she should have risen enough to fit snugly within the guideposts. The 943 meters of wooden deck cribbing will then take the strain of the rig. In the ballast room, Algis is monitoring the vessel's position and depth in the water.
725.
7.15.
7.1.
After 4 hours, the surface of Osprey's deck rises above the water. And finally, Yegor and Captain Victor can check the rig's positioning. But with the load blocking the deck, he uses the ship's 157-meter tunnel to get from the stern or back of the boat to the bow or front.
Proposal start with this.
I think that's a good proposal.
Now the role of the guideposts becomes clear. But is the rig sitting within the 5-centimeter margin on the wooden cribbing? 4 hours ago, this was 10 meters underwater. On the outside of the hull of the rig, Captain Victor is trying to locate the solid structural beams.
This kind of job we call hammering to find the position of the frame.
He's listening for a tonal change.
It should be exactly on the center of this creeping wood. This is the only way to find the frame. Just been told that she's exactly spot on the creeping. This is actually very good.
The captain's happy. But what about Loadmaster Yegor?
We are at the moment between the main deck of Osprey. This is Sputkan, and this is the tip of Sputkan. And this, you can see the opening in our main deck. See how perfect Sputkan went inside. Absolutely perfect.
But the final sign-off will be from the client, rig representative Ben Sherwood.
These two go on this side. So far it looks good. We just need to look at the last 2 leg wells and then see fastening from there. So pretty happy, yeah.
After weeks in the planning, this is a phenomenal achievement. Once the rig is securely welded to the cribbing, Osprey will be seaworthy and ready for the next stage of her journey. 5,700 kilometers to Melbourne, on the southeast tip of Australia.